Looking to get a new phone but want good value for money? In this video, we've taken a look at 5 of the best mobile phone deals in the UK at the moment, based on the value they offer, given how good the phone is. But before we begin, if you're looking for a smartphone deal, make sure to come to our comparison website, which is the first link in the description. Here, we compare prices to find the cheapest deals on almost every smartphone available for sale in the UK. And we also compare prices on SIM-only deals if you don't need a new phone at the moment. Make sure to come to greensmartphones.com to find the cheapest prices on the phone you're considering, no matter when you're watching this. Currently, with Voxy, you can get a really cheap price on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. At the moment, you'll pay about £40 a month for this phone on a contract from Voxy. That's cheaper than what the Z Fold 6 costs, and it's even cheaper than the S23 Ultra. Although there are cheaper phones on the market, given how good the S24 Ultra is, these deals are really good value. And if you want a bit more data, Carphone Warehouse has similar deals on just a 24-month contract, meaning you get to own the phone sooner, in 2 years instead of 3. And what's more, these are all new phones, not refurbished models. If you're on greensmartphones.com and you're looking at an older phone to save a bit of money, make sure to come to the condition filter down here if you don't want to see refurbished phones. If you want to spend a bit less money, the Honor Magic6 Pro is also a great deal. With 3, it costs about £30 a month, so about £10 a month less than the S24 Ultra, and you get a lot more data with their deals. You also get the 512GB version of the phone, giving you more storage. A lot of people sleep on Honor a bit because they're not as well known as Apple or Samsung. The two best things about it are its camera and its screen. You get 120Hz OLED, which is nice, and the triple camera setup performs really well, shooting it up to 180 megapixels. And it also comes with a 5600 mAh battery, instead of the 5000 that's pretty typical at this price point. Plus, you get the other stuff that's pretty typical from larger brands, like an IP68 rating for waterproofing and dustproofing. In terms of overall value for money, at that £30 a month price point, the Magic6 Pro is hard to beat. Another good value phone at a similar price point to the Honor is the Google Pixel 8 Pro. Currently, it's giffgaff that offers the best prices on this handset. Just you won't get as much data as what 3 is offering with the Honor Magic6 Pro, and you only get 128GB of storage on these cheapest deals. Let's see what pricing is like if we want the 256GB version. Okay, so it's not that much more expensive. You get pretty much the same deal with the same amount of data for about £1 extra per month. It's also worth noting, you can use these filters over here to decide what sort of deal you want for a phone you're considering buying. For example, let's say we don't want to use giffgaff, so you can pay a bit more per month to use ID Mobile, and you'll get more data as well. Again, we like the Pixel because of its screen and its cameras. Google's phones are legendary for their photo capabilities, and you also get a pretty good screen with a 120Hz refresh rate, and pretty good pixel density as well. Just the battery on this phone isn't quite as big as on the Honor Magic6 Pro, but you still get that IP68 rating, which is pretty typical for phones at this price point. Currently, we think the iPhone 15 Pro offers the best value of any of Apple's current generation of handsets, but by the time you're watching this, the iPhone 16 might have come out, which means this phone might be even cheaper than it is now. Or it could be that the iPhone 16 Pro is a better choice. To find out, come to greensmartphones.com and click Apple up here. The iPhone 16, and any versions after that as well, will be up here, and then you can compare their prices to the iPhone 15 lineup. You'll pay about £35 a month for this phone at the moment, for the lowest storage option with 150GB of data from 3. While this is the best value for money iPhone on the market at the moment, we don't think it's as good value as the other phones we've looked at so far. Its screen size is a lot smaller, although it still does come with a 120Hz refresh rate, but the battery capacity is a lot lower, in part just because it's a smaller phone, so it doesn't need quite as big a battery. But of course, with this phone, you get access to different Apple features, like their emergency SOS system, that aren't available on other Android phones. So if you're in the Apple ecosystem already, you might not mind paying a bit more for these extra features. Most of the phones we've looked at so far are in that £30 to £40 a month price bracket. If you're on a tighter budget, the Samsung Galaxy A55 is a better choice. It costs less than £20 a month at the moment from Phonehouse, including 100GB of data and just a 24-month contract, so you're not left paying it off for a really long time. Despite the low price, you still get a decent screen size and 120Hz refresh rate, meaning scrolling, tapping and swiping is all really smooth, as well as a pretty decent sized battery. There's 2 reasons this phone is a decent bit cheaper than some other options from Samsung. The first is the materials. It's made of plastic instead of the titanium or glass you'd get on more more expensive phones. And in terms of design, the screen bezels are a bit bigger, meaning there's more black around the edges on the front of the phone. But this isn't a big deal to the user experience in most cases. It just looks a bit less sleek. The second reason is, internally, the phone isn't as powerful as the likes of the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. The chipset being used isn't as powerful, and it doesn't have as much RAM. Not to mention, it only comes with up to 250GB of storage. But the lower storage amount is offset a bit by the fact that the files created by the phone won't be as big. For example, since the camera doesn't shoot with 100 megapixels, the file size of the photos you take won't be as large, so you won't use as much storage. And unlike a lot of other phones, it comes with a memory card slot, so you can put a micro SD card in it if you want to expand the storage. Ultimately, while this isn't the fanciest phone on the market, it is a really good deal, especially if you don't need a phone made of fancy materials and don't need the best camera on the market. So thanks for watching, and remember, use greensmartphones.com to find the best prices on phones you're considering buying. Just come to our comparison site, linked in the description, and click on a phone you want to buy to compare the best prices on the market from all of the major networks, no matter when you're watching this. And if you have any questions about choosing a phone to buy, leave a comment below and we'll get back to you.